Hey guys, welcome back to No Catchy Name. It's me, Ella. Today I want to hop on here and share with you a bunch of finished objects. I have not made a what I've been crocheting in about 2.5 weeks. Just because Vlogmas and all that was just busy, and then Christmas, you know, it's just busy time of year. So I do have a little accumulation of finished objects to share with you. I want to say all the patterns will be linked below. There are 2 things I'm not going to talk about yet because they're gifts for someone and I'm waiting for them to get it before I talk about them. At least one thing I don't have anymore because I made it and gave it to my mom, but I will show a picture of it. And everything in the background that's crocheted, I'll have also linked below. That is this Valentine's Day countdown that I made probably 5 or 6 years ago when Jesse was little, I'm pretty sure. Littler, I mean he's only 7. It's a free pattern. This little bear is a free pattern. I've made multiples of those. And then also back here is my plastic bag holder. I get asked about that a lot. Those all 3 will be linked below as well. Just so that, you know, if you see something that in the back of my videos, I will always try to link it below because people ask. But anyways, let's just jump into it. These are in no particular order because I can't remember exactly how I finished them. But, and some of them are 3 long-term whips that I've had for a while. One I didn't finish because I ran out of stuffing, and then I got some gifted to me. And so I finally finished it. One was a present for my brother that I just lost momentum for. And one was a long-term project that I finally finished. So let's just go. Okay, first, starting off super easy, was granny square. If you don't know, I am making some granny squares out of variegated scrap yarns. This kind of is going concurrently with my block stitch Vlogmas blanket that I was working on. I'm still working on it. I've only worked on it once since Vlogmas ended, but I plan on working on it. So all the variegated yarns I got, which I think was 2 or 3, including this one, I decided to make granny squares out of. I'm using a H-hook, which is 5mm, and I'm doing 5 rows of granny square. And eventually, once I get enough variegated squares, I'll put them together as a scrappy square blanket. I do have some variegated scraps of my own, but not very many. So after I run out of my scraps, I can either put this on pause, or I can just start pulling some yarns out and making a square out of them. I don't know how I'll do that, but I made one more of those, so there's one more of those to add to the pile. That's just a basic granny square pattern. There's really no pattern for it. You can just look up, you know, granny square and it'll bring it up. Alright, next is the one that I don't have, and it's a Santa hat that I made my mom. Her and her church every, well, not every Christmas, but every week around Christmas, they go caroling to, like, usually it's elderly members, or sometimes they actually go to nursing homes and carol, like, outside the windows of the nursing home. And they do stuff like that, and they drop off like bags of fruit and stuff to people. So she wanted a Santa hat for that. That's basically what I'm saying. And I used the free pattern by Yarnspirations, and I'll pop up a picture of it because I don't have it anymore. She has it. But it was actually a really quick make. I made it in like one day sitting. You know, she told me she needed it, and so I just started working on it and made it. And it was a really nice hat. I liked it. And I'm not too proud of my pom-pom. I'm really bad at making pom-poms. I need to keep some on hand. I used to have some, but I've used them all up and I've just never gotten any more. And I'd like to have like a little variety of different color ones so that I can just put them on a hat and not have to deal with making my own because I'm so bad at it. And they always like, I even told her that, you know, to be careful with the pom-pom and not let Judah around it because if he starts pulling the fibers out, they're just going to fall apart because I'm not good at making pom-poms. Or I can make them, but they're not like, they don't stay together. So there's that hat. I used red heart yarn for that, red heart white and cherry red. Alright, next is my heart sweater. I did finally finish it. I know I've been working on it since I think March. I think is when we started that collab. And then for various reasons people had to stop the collab or at least slow down. And then we just kind of finished our projects whenever we finished them. But I finally finished my heart sweater. I should have put it on, but I wasn't thinking. Anyways, this is a free pattern by Chinda DIY on YouTube. It's a 2-part. 2 videos for it, and I did do a few things differently. See how cute it is. I love it. I did the collar differently because I didn't want like a big collar on my neck. I don't like stuff like up on my neck, you know, makes me kind of gaggy. And the sleeves are supposed to be like big puff sleeves, which I did start, and I just didn't like the way they were looking. So I took them out and I did my own sleeves. I didn't do that good at like doing a slow decrease. I should have, well actually it was an increase because I was working that way. But, oh well, it's still, you can't tell how goofy it looks when it's on my body. And the brim, did I do the brim different? No, I did the brim the right way. Cuff, whatever this is called. I don't know what that's called. But I think it's adorable. I love this sweater. I'll link both those videos down below. It's actually pretty easy. It kind of looks like it would be complicated. And there are bits that I would say are a little bit more intermediate crocheter. But I think even a beginner crocheter could pull this off. They would just have to learn all the stitches along the way. Because this does have every stitch in it pretty much. It has slip stitch, single crochet, half double, doubles. And I think there's even some parts where there's some triple crochets. And then you do have to do a lot of sewing together. So it's definitely like an intermediate pattern. But I think even a beginner could figure it out. It just might take them a while. I love it. I love the colors I chose. And I kind of want to find some more sweaters similar to this, but with different things in the middle. I know for sure I want to make a Halloween sweater or cardigan, and a Christmassy one, sweater or cardigan. And then, I don't know, maybe an Easter one, like a cardigan, because it is sometimes Easter. I think this year Easter is the last Sunday in March. I think. It's very end of March. So it's still going to be chilly here. So a cardigan would be cute. And an Easter themed one would be even cuter. I love the holidays. If anybody knows anything about me, I love pretty much every holiday. I love just to celebrate life and have fun. But that is my sweater, and I love it. So you'll probably see that in videos, me wearing it. So I'm going to get this over here out of the way. It's kind of big. Alright, moving on. Next is my acorns. If you watched my recent acorn videos, you would have already seen these. But I made 4 different acorn things for my good luck charms going into 2024. Now let's see here. The first one is the tiny acorn. This is supposed to be smaller, but I used worsted weight in a G hook, I believe, a 4.5 millimeter. And it's by 5 Little Monsters. She makes all kinds of cute little ornaments, and I usually make them bigger. I can't remember if it was 2021 or 2022. I think it was 2021. I did make a bunch of her Christmas ornaments in smaller yarns, like size 2 yarns, and they were adorable. I gifted some of them to my yarn swap friend, and some of them are ornaments that I kept. But I just made it in worsted weight, so it's bigger. But it is a free pattern by 5 Little Monsters. She has a lot of really cute patterns. Next is the upcycled acorn. This one has a plastic water bottle ring from like the cap in it, and then you crochet around it, and it's super cute. It is a free pattern by Highland Hickory Designs. Super cute, love it. These are made with the same yarns, which are scrap balls, so I'm not 100% sure what they are. And then, what is next? The acorn charm bag is also made with the same yarns, and plus some orange yarn. It doesn't have a good shape to it because it doesn't have anything in it. But it's just a little acorn bag where the top of the lid pulls up so you can put stuff down in there. That is so cute. It's meant to be put on like a bag, but I mean, you could really use it for anything, I guess. So that is a free pattern by, I think it's Kuka Crochet on YouTube, but it'll be linked below. I'm just not sure if that's how you pronounce it, because it's K-U-K-K-A Crochet. But it is super cute. I love it. I'd actually like to make more of these, and that designer has multiple ones. I know I've seen one that was like a flower, and there was a bunch of other ones. And I know there's also a thing similar to this, but it's to hide keys in. And I thought those were cute. I know Jesse would love anything like that because he loves containers. he's a collector like I am, so he likes keeping all kinds of trinkets and things, and then having things to put them in. So I think he will love this when I give it to him. I just haven't done that yet. And then the last acorn was the acorn brooch by Line Brand. This pattern does have a leaf to it, but I just didn't do the leaf. This is the same brown, dark brown, but it's a different light brown. I think this is actually a red heart color. But this is the little brooch that I made as well for my acorns. So that's all the acorns. Alright, next is the Country Cottage beanie. I made the Country Cottage mittens earlier in December, I think. And then I made the beanie, whoops, to match it. So it does have a brim that you fold up. Now this one is a little small for my head. It fits, but it's a little short. I wish I had made it just a smidge longer. This part, you know, these repeats. So I think, and I do have some more of this yarn left. I have a whole cake of it, plus some, like a big yarn ball, probably enough to make another whole beanie with. So I might remake it with the large adult size, because this is the small adult size, and it's just a little small. Like, I feel like if I wore it outside, I'd be doing this a lot to cover up my ears. I like my ears to stay warm. So I think I might remake this eventually. I don't know when though. But June likes this one. We have a bag of hats and gloves and stuff And she likes to pull stuff out and put them on. And she will put on all my cows. She'll have like 5 cows on. She loves dressing up, which I think is so cute. But so she can use this, or Jesse, because he doesn't care about his hats and stuff. He pulls out mine and wears them all the time. He just wants to be warm. He don't care what they look like. But so this is that pattern. This is a free pattern along with the mittens, and I believe there's a cowl or a scarf that matches. I can't remember, but I think I've seen that. And it is by, who is that by? Oh, the Turtle Truck. I just realized there's an end in there I didn't weave in. I gotta weave that in. But I think I will remake this in a slightly bigger size, because I do love the colors and I love the mittens, so I want to match a hat. And might make a cowl, who knows, because I do love cowls more than scarves, because scarves sometimes get annoying the way they like flap around. And I dropped one of my whips. I gotta get it. Okay, moving on. I told you it's a lot of them. Next is a pattern that Crystal from Chronically Crocheting shared with me. It is one of her newest patterns. She has a free video tutorial on it, which I'll link below, and she also has a paid PDF of it. And it is called So Snowman by her. Ta-da! Here's one. He's so cute. So you start at the hat and you work your way all the way down, and the little arms and the nose are all worked into the project. So there's no sewing at all except your tails, you know. And I made the scarf just my own, because she kind of makes like a base snowman and then you can do your own thing. So I did, I put little cheeks on there and a smile. I stitched some blue around the eyes just to help make them like pop out a little bit. And this is a button, a flat back, I think they're called. So I glued that on there. I thought it was cute. And then I just made him a little scarf. I just thought it'd be cute. And these are buttons too. If you look, you can kind of see holes on them. But I didn't have any like solid buttons or anything like that. So I found those in my stash to kind of see how they like twinkle. So I just glued, I hot glued them together. Because this is my snowman. He's staying with me. He's my little winter friend. So I'm going to leave him out until spring comes. And then he will get put up with the winter stuff. So you might see him eventually in the background back there. Or in other videos, maybe throughout my house somewhere. But I just think he's so sweet. And I could totally see myself making a ton of these as gifts around the holidays, because they're super quick. It was super quick and easy. And you could customize them really easily. Different buttons or puffy paint even. Different faces, eyes, and accessories. So I think that'd be really cute. But I love him. He's so sweet. Alright, the last regular whip is another pattern that was gifted to me by Shannon at the Spoonie Stitcher. She sent me an email, and a few other people, because I've seen other people talking about it. And in it she shared one of her new patterns that she hasn't put out yet, but I'm assuming she will soon. And it's a little notions pouch. So I made it in a bright orange color. And I made it while watching Grey's Anatomy. But here it is. So, and it's really quick, easy make. It is one whole piece, and then all you do is you seam up the sides here. And there's some back loops here that you can stick stitch markers on. And I even thought about putting that on the inside, because I thought that would be good for sticking like yarn needles through some of the loops, you know. And it being stored on the inside. But, I mean, it's still cute either way. It's super bright. And then your little flap comes down. And then in her picture, she has it closed like this. But you could also close it like that. Because how I did it originally, until I looked back at her picture and I was like, oh, she had it the other way. But it's just cute as heck. This would be cute to put down in your little, I have like a little tote thingy. It used to be a diaper tote when June was littler. But now it's a crafty tote. And then I have like my main craft supplies that I use all the time. So I'll probably just put that down in there to put my stitch markers and things down in. Because I also have my Grinch bag that's got stuff in it. And then I got this bag that Terry made me when we did a collab together. That's got my hooks in it. So it's just layers. Got layers of stuff in there. So I'll probably just add this to it, and it'll probably house stitch markers, I think. Because I always need stitch markers. But that's from her. So I can't really link that below, but I'll link her below, her channel. And I'm sure eventually she'll come out with a tutorial or something of that, because she does that. She does tutorials. Alright, the last three were sleeping whips. Well, 2 of them were. One of them was just one I hadn't got around to finishing yet. It was a year-long thing, so. But the first one was a crayon pattern, Crayon, by Olive at Stringy Ding Ding. I started it before my craft fair in early December in hopes to take it with me, but then I ran out of stuffing, so I knew I wouldn't be able to stuff him because he's pretty big. He came out way bigger than the last one I made from her pattern, so I guess that's a tension issue. But it is a free pattern by Olive. You can also buy it ad-free and all that as PDF. But I made a yellow crayon. And I put a face on him. Look how big he is. He's huge. And these are not safety eyes, felt eyes and a mouth that my sister made me. She gave me a whole bunch of them, so I've been trying to use them. I actually really like using them. And I think I might actually switch to using mostly these, because safety eyes, although they are cute, they are more dangerous for little kids. I have never had any of my kids get the safety eyes out, but I'm sure there are some kids that probably could. These are hot glued on there, so they're on there good. But I don't know. I don't know how picky parents are about stuff like that. But look at his face. He's so happy. But he's a big old yellow crayon. And I just love him. It is pale yellow and bright yellow by Red Heart and black. And I think I used a G-hook. It was a 4.5mm G-hook. And he just turned out so cute. The only problem with all this is I hate stuffing things like this because it's so hard to get them to not look so lumpy. But I took forever stuffing him, and he is so cute. I actually made this the same day that I made this notion pouch. Or I finished it. Because I had about this much of it done. And I stopped working on it because I knew I wouldn't have enough to stuff it. So I finished him up, and he is just so cute. So I'll either save him for that same craft fair, but later this year. Way later, 2024. Or I might put him in my Etsy shop. I'm not sure. I'll figure that out later. Alright, this next one was a sleeping whip. Like, this was almost going to throw it away and never finish it, whip. Because it was so tedious, and it hurt my hands. The main body of it is held double worsted weight with a G-hook. So it was really tight, the stitches, which they wanted it tight so that it would be a thicker fabric and stiffer. But Lord of mercy. So last time you seen it, the body was done and one of the ear like things. So I pulled it out Wednesday night is when I decided to finish up some of these whips. And I made the other ear, the feet, both arms, and then the next day I made all the little pieces, and then I sewed it together. So this is a Pokemon that I'm giving to my brother for his birthday. His birthday is January 5th, so I just gotta give it to him. But it is called Trubbish. It's pretty big, and it's thick, and it's a Pokemon that is a trash bag. So last time you seen it, it was just this big green kiss looking shape with one of these ears. So Wednesday night I made the other ear, the 2 feet, the 2 arms. Those were all held double. And then the next morning I made the little patch thingies. There's 2 on each side. The mouth, which is actually 3 pieces that you have to put together. The eyes and the pupils. And then I sewed all those pieces together. Although I will say these little spots and these pieces are all glued on. This is sewed onto that. But the rest of them, I just sewed on the body parts so that they're good and sturdy. But the rest of the little pieces are glued on. And then I stitched on the little zigzag up the face. And whew, this was a labor of love. Like, there were so many times I wanted to just throw it away and forget that I ever told him I was going to make it. He was originally going to buy it. But because it took me so long to make it, and it's almost his birthday, I was like, it's just going to be a birthday gift. So it is cute, and I'm glad I finished it, but I will never make it again unless I hold it just single. It'll be a lot smaller. And then these pieces, because if I hold all these pieces single, they'll be smaller. So these ones, I would have to use a smaller yarn to make them smaller, to make it all the right size. But I'll probably never make it again because it was kind of a pain in the butt. But it is done, and I can't wait for him to have it, because I sent him a picture of it. But in the picture, you know, you can't really tell how big it is. And I think he's going to be surprised about how big it is, because it is big. It's a big old toy. But he loves Pokemon, and that's his favorite Pokemon. So I am glad that I got it done. But I will never, ever do it again. And the pattern is also written kind of weird. It's not beginner friendly at all. The increases and stuff are written weird, because it just says at the beginning of the row, it'll say add 3 increases evenly throughout this row. And for people who haven't crocheted amigurumis a lot, they would have no idea what that even means. But I think it could just be rewritten a little bit better. But I figured it out and I got it made. So that's what is important, and I'm glad it's done. Alright, the last finished object. The last one is my Animal Squares blanket pillow. I was going to make it a baby blanket, but mine came out way smaller than hers did because of tension and stuff. Because I used worsted weight yarn in the same hook that she did. It's just mine came out way smaller. It's by Repeat Crafter Me. It was a year-long crochet along. It started in January 23 and it ended just now in December. So I decided I was going to make a pillow with it, and then I decided to go ahead and do it. And it came out like a standard pillow size. There's a standard pillow in it. But here it is. So there's the first side of it with the animals. And then flip it over, and there's the other animals. And to close it, to make it where you could change it out, I wanted to put 6 buttons on it, but I only had 4. So I'm thinking about getting some more buttons, especially because they're not spaced out well. I want to put a couple more buttons on there. That way you can open it and take the pillow out to clean this. Like, you can't wash this in a washer because it would, you know, there's too many pieces and the eyes might break and stuff. But, you know, to take the pillow out to spot clean it and let it dry, or take the pillow out to change the pillow. You know, pillows get gross after a while. But I still think it's cute. And I'm just going to have it for my kids to use. I don't know who else to give it to. But the kids will love it. I know. At least June. I just love that little fly. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. It's the little fly. But I think it's cute. And I'm going to try my hardest. If she starts another another year-long thing this January, here in just a couple of weeks, I'm going to try my hardest not to do it if it's something like this. Because these things are so hard to gift. Because they're cute, and they would be cute for babies, but they're completely unusable for babies. Because of all the little pieces. Because even if you don't use safety eyes, if you use stitch-on eyes, there's still a lot of hazards to little babies. You know, their fingers can get stuck in their toes, and they can eventually wiggle strands out to, you know, you can choke them more than a safety eye. But to me, these kind of patterns are really cute, but they're very impractical. They're not practical because you can't really use them other than decoration. And then what are you supposed to do with them after that kid grows up? Because, like, you don't want to throw something like this away, but, you know, it's just, these patterns are hard to deal with, I think. So, I know a couple years ago she did, like, a corner-to-corner gnomes, which I still would like to do that blanket. I really don't like doing corner-to-corner. It's still all the bobbins and stuff that I don't like. But, anyways, I'm just proud that I finally finished this because I kind of procrastinated and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was going to finish it as a baby blanket to enter into my county fair, but it just came out really small. It came out more like a stroller blanket or a crib blanket, or is that what they're called? It was like 29 inches by 33 inches, I think. So I'll just make another one. And for my county fair from years past, I've learned that the things that win like Best of Show are the things that have intricate stitching. Like when I won Best of Show the 2 times, it was with my Mandala Madness blanket, which I love still. That's like my proudest make. And the baby blanket one was, I think it's called High Tide Waves baby blanket, which I actually sold to someone who watches my videos. I sold that a few years ago. That one had a lot of like intricate stitch work in it. Those tend to be the ones that get Best of Show, which is the goal. If you enter the fair, you know, your goal is to win. So things like this do usually get first place, but I want the purple ribbons. I want Best of Show. But technically in the state of Tennessee, when you win a Best of Show, you can also enter your project into the state fair. But I've just never I never did that the 2 times because the state fair is in Nashville, I think. And it's just such a long drive and stuff. And to be honest, I was terrified leaving my Mandala Madness at my county fair. And I was so worried that something's going to happen to it or someone's going to steal it. Because it's huge. It came out like king size. There are 17.5 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver in that. And I worked on it for 2 months straight to finish it before the daily hours every day working on that blanket to get it done. You can actually go way back into my old videos and follow that journey. I realize I have a ridiculous amount of videos that I was looking at the other day, and I have 1,300 videos, over 1,300 videos. And I was like, man, new people is never going to want to go back and watch that many videos of me, especially them early ones where they're really cringy. But anyways, it is done. I'm going to throw it right there for now. So now the only whips that I have carrying over into 2024 are 2 scrappy projects, which don't really count because those are meant to be longer term. And that's my scrappy granny squares that I was talking about and my block stitch blanket. Those don't really count to me. So the only unfinished whip that I'm bringing from 2023 into 2024 is my Sesame Street yarn blanket by Bag A Day. I started on that in the summer, I believe. Maybe even been earlier than that. I think I got like 3 or 4 of the squares done. I actually have them somewhere. But I was working on the one that is like pink and purple, and I kept messing it up, and I just got mad at it, and I set it down, and I have not picked it up. I do still have all the yarn for it. I actually think it's in this tote. Let me look. The yarn is actually under the shelf with all the Valentine's Day stuff on it. Yeah, I think they're in here. Okay, it looks like I finished 3. So this was the Cookie Monster one. I didn't weave in any of the ends. I know that's Cookie Monster. This is Elmo. It's got like bobble stitches on it. And then this one I think was Bert or Ernie. I can't remember. This one's the one that came out really weird shaped, but it'll be fine once you sew it all together. So I finished 3 and I was working on that. I think it's Sophia? I can't remember. And I just kept messing it up. I could not get the stitch count right, no matter how many times I tried. And I just put it down and I never picked it back up. So I do want to finish this, and I do have all the yarns and stuff for it. I just, you know, you get discouraged when you keep messing something up, and I just got distracted by other things. So, whew, this is a long video. It's gonna take a lot of editing too. I had to edit out a few bits. But now that I got all these things done, it feels so good carrying over just a few things, because, you know, I had these 2 in my whipped pile and that animal squares thing, so it feels so good to have those done. And I have empty project bags. I was going to show you guys those and I forgot. One's in the living room because June took off with it, but my Valentine's Day one that's like covered in hearts is in there. That was the animal square one. This was the one that had Trubbish in it. This was one of the first bags I ever made. It's actually got, like, you know, it's not that good, but it's when I was first learning how to make zipper bags. So that one's empty now. And then this skeleton one had the crayon in it. That one's empty now. And it felt so good to just have. So I got 3 more empty project bags to go in my big stash of project bags. But yeah, I'm just so happy to be done with those. Technically, I'm only counting that one Sesame Street one as a whip, like a sleep-in whip carrying over, because the other 2 I knew were going to take longer. I started them for Vlogmas, so I knew they were going to go into the new year. But actually, my block stitch blanket, I think it's probably about halfway done just from the Vlogmas yarns. I added 1 more color in there since then, but I haven't I've been working on these other things, so I haven't got to sit down and really work on it, but I would like to. Maybe today I'll do that and put more than just 1 row in it, you know, more than 1 color. But between that blanket and the animal squares one, I did use up a whole jumbo ball of Red Heart Aran, which is good because I have like 6 or 7 of them from that a few years ago. Walmart had them clearanced out for 64 cents each. And I want to use them up, so, but yeah, that's a lot. I do have a bunch of ball bands from this year. I will put in a clip of that because actually right at this moment you guys are sitting on top of the container that they're in. But I know in years past I show them every month, but this year I just didn't have time, so I just kept stuffing them in an old cheese ball container. And there's a lot in there. I'm gonna count them and see how many's in there. This one I pulled off. This one is still, it still has yarn. Which one is this for? Camel. Big Twist Camel. What was I using this for? Probably the Acorns. That might be this one. I thought was red Elvis yarn. I think that's this one. That is back in my stash, but I haven't used that up yet, so I didn't leave that one out of the container. But yeah, I'm just excited to have some whips done. Specifically this one. Because that one was driving me nuts. But so going into 2024, I'm gonna be a little bit. So 2024 plans, I've already got some videos planned out, like not the actual videos, but like the types of videos. I will definitely want to get back into doing my national holidays because I love doing those. And I want to get back into doing Stitch Your Stash and Stitch Your Library, because there's a lot of yarns in my stash that I would like to use up and get out of here. And there's so many patterns that I've acquired over the years I would like to make, and I just keep putting it off for new patterns, you know. So there's a lot of good things coming up in 2024, so stick around. And this will be going into my 7th year. June of 2024 will be my 7th year podiversary. And Terry's actually from Yarn Joy. We started making videos right around the same time. So it's just cool to see how much has changed. And if you go back to my oldest videos, Jesse is like the age that June is now. He's a little baby. And it's just crazy what you guys have seen me go through all these years. So let's see here. You've seen me parenting him. You've seen me get married finally. You've seen me had another baby. You've seen me to have 2 miscarriages. You've seen me make ridiculous amount of things. You've seen me go on vacations. You've seen me cry a few times. So it's just been a crazy wild trip, and I enjoy it. I'm gonna keep on trucking. I don't know if I'll do YouTube forever, but I'm gonna keep doing it for now. But it's just crazy. You know, Jesse's almost 8. June is almost 2. Her birthday is actually in just a few weeks. Her birthday is January 26th. Jesse's is in May, and so is mine. And it's just crazy. Time just flies, and I'm so glad that I started making videos because I've met so many amazing people through YouTube, and I have so many really good friends I would never have met otherwise. And I just appreciate you guys all so much. I don't know how many people have stayed this long because it's a really long video. It's going to take me forever to edit it. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and clean up because I got finished objects everywhere now. And I'm going to see you guys next year because you're seeing this on the last day of 2023. So I'll see you guys in the new year. Happy New Year's.